Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we've got a little bit of a different video coming for you. We're going to be talking about the next upcoming featured 6-star hero crystal, and also kind of in a little bit of a different way than one might normally talk about it. So if we look at the current 6-star featured hero crystal in-game, there's just under 14 days left until this one expires from the time that I'm recording this video. And so once this crystal expires, the 12 featured champions, the brand new champions as 6-stars, are going to rotate into the basic pool of champions, and then we're going to get a brand new featured 6-star hero crystal. Just kind of keeping with the same style that these new featured crystals have been going. There's been no talk on the forums lately, to my knowledge at least, that they're going to be changing this again anytime soon. So I think it's a pretty safe assumption that we can go forward thinking that the next featured 6-star hero crystal is going to have a champion roster put together the same way that this one and the last one did. So that means that there's going to be 12 brand new champions introduced into that featured 6-star hero crystal, and then the other 12, which make up the total of 24, are going to be champions that you can already get in the basic 10K version of the crystal. Now, right now in game, there are 48 different 6-star champions. I'm not including the Immortal Iron Fist in this, because you can't get him from these crystals here. It's only from the Max Sig crystal, so I'm not including him in this. So there are 48 different 6-star champions that you can currently get in the game. And I put together a list of them, just in a Google Sheet here. So here they all are. This is the current 6-star champion roster in MCoC, again, not including the Immortal Iron Fist. Now, the interesting thing here is that there's 48 champions and there's 8 of each class. So right now it's very, very evenly spread. So once the current featured 6-star crystal expires, those champions again are going to go into the basic crystal, and this list right here is what the basic crystal is going to look like starting September the 11th. So there's going to be 48 champions available in that crystal, and then we're going to get a brand new crystal that's going to have 12 new champions that are first appearing as 6-stars ever, and then 12 of these. Now, we already know who 6 of those champions are going to be, because they are going to be the 6 most recent champions that we got after Domino, because Domino was the last new champion to be introduced in the last 6-star featured crystal. So 6 of the 12 brand new 6-stars we know are going to be Massacre, Wasp, Ghost, Red Skull, Heimdall, and Korg. So we know that those 6 are going to be in the, those are 6 of the 12 brand new 6-star champions. And then there's going to be 6 others that are going to make their debut appearance as 6-stars. Now, we don't know who those champions are yet, because there's been nothing come up on the forums showing who the new list of champions are, because again, we still have about 2 weeks or so before this crystal expires. But what we might be able to do is we might be able to get sort of like a guided direction on at least the classes of what those champions might be. And again, this is just a theory. There is nothing, on the forums that's kind of indicating this. This is just a theory that I have, and I just kind of did a little bit of digging and a little bit of exploring, and just to see. So after we get our next featured 6-star hero crystal, these 6 champions here are the 6 most recent champions that have been added into the game. So as we can see, there are 2 skill, 2 tech, 1 science, and 1 cosmic. Now that then throws the balance a little bit. So right now there's 48 total different 6-star champions, 8 of each class. That puts tech and skill up to 10, science and cosmic up to 9, and leaves mutant and mystic at 8 each. So if they plan on keeping this even going forward, because in all of the featured crystals there are 4 champions of each class, and it's always a mix of repeats from the basic or new ones, because for example in this past crystal, 3 of the 4 tech champions in the featured 6-star crystal were featured champions. We had Doc Ock, Punisher 2099, and Iron Man Infinity War. So that means that in order to rebalance everything and have the same amount of champions throughout the game, same amount of 6-star champions available between the basic and the featured, that means there would need to be 1 cosmic, 1 science, 2 mutant, and 2 mystic champions that are appearing for the very first time as 6 stars. So the reason why I'm kind of bringing this up is if this theory is correct, and again, this is just a theory, so it's entirely possible that this is just wrong, but it's kind of fun to throw ideas around like this. The interesting thing is the 2 Mystic champions that we could potentially be getting as first-time 6-star champions. Now, we already have regular Iron Fist, Juggernaut, Jane Foster, Loki, Morningstar Guillotine, Mordo, and Hood. We already have those champions available as Mystics. So I'm going to bring up the list of the playable Mystic champions that we currently have available to us, and it's the remaining champions. It's a pretty stacked list, not going to lie. So there's Doctor Strange, Dr. Voodoo, Dormammu, Ghost Rider, Scarlet Witch, Magic, and Mephisto. So assuming I counted those right, that means that there's 7 champions there that we could potentially be seeing as brand new 6-star champions. Now, I don't know about you, but this is like a pretty stacked list of options of what we could see as 2 new Mystic champions coming into the game as 6 stars. Realistically, any of those 7, probably apart from Doctor Strange, unfortunately, but I would not say no to a 6-star Doctor Strange, especially since we don't have a 5-star version of him in game. Any of those 6-star champion, or any of those 7 Mystic champions that are currently not in the game as 6 stars, any 2 of them would be absolutely insane to see added into the game. And I think it's an okay time for Kabam to kind of, throw this card at us. Because like we still don't have a 6-star Blade or a 6-star Sparky or like a 6-star Iceman or Archangel. We do have a 6-star Void, but Void really heavily relies on his Awakened ability. We don't have a 6-star Medusa, Hyperion, champions like that. And looking at some of these champions, there's a good list of like typical Mystic defenders in here. But the thing is that all of those champions rely on their Awakened ability to be a good defender. Like, you're not going to place a Dormammu on defense. Yeah, he's a double immune champion, but he really benefits from his Awakened ability and giving the degen on the opponents as they're fighting him. It just makes him a much, much harder opponent. Ghost Rider and Dr. Voodoo don't really see much placement as defenders anyway because they're very, very easy champions to fight. Their specials are very easy to evade. So they don't really pose much of a challenge when you're facing them. But champions like a Mephisto, he needs his Awakened ability to be a viable defender, because if you just throw an unawakened Mephisto on defense, he's never going to trigger his aura of incineration unless he throws his special 2. And again, his special 1 is easy enough to evade that you can just constantly bait that and you're never going to be triggering it. Yeah, you'll still have to deal with his regen, but it's not that bad. And plus, if you're using Blade, you have a chance of shutting it down anyway. And then for Magic, again, in order for her to be a viable defender, she needs her Limbo, and she doesn't have Limbo unless she's awakened. So I think that it's an okay time if Kabam, again, if this theory is correct, that they want to keep the amount of champions even, that if they start taking some of these Mystic champions and giving them to us as 6 stars, I really don't think it's going to have that huge of an impact on the game and like Alliance War defense, because they would start off in the 6-star featured crystal, which is 15,000 6-star shards. And unless you're dropping thousands upon thousands of dollars on Grandmaster crystals, you don't have that flood of 6-star shards coming in on a regular basis where you can be popping like a featured every week. It just doesn't happen with 6 stars at this point in the game. And then once they rotate into the basic pool, you'll have a 1 in 60 chance of pulling that champion. So it's not like it's like the initial batch of like 12 5-stars and Star-Lord was in there, and if you got lucky and pulled him as your first 5-star like I did, then you had like a 1 in 12 chance of getting him awakened, and it was pretty easy if you could get the 5-star shards together. Once so if we see, for example, like a 6-star Dormammu and a 6-star Magic get introduced in this next pool, once they finally hit the basic, there's 60 champions in there. So you have a 1 in 60 chance of pulling that champion first of all, and then a 1 in 60 chance of pulling them again to get their awakened ability. So Personally, I don't really think it would be that big of a deal if some of these typical Mystic defenders came into the game at this point. Feel free to disagree with me down below. I'm open to discussion, but yeah, that's just my stance on it. And you know, who knows? This theory could be entirely wrong. It could just be, you know, they might, you know, throw us a couple more skill champions and techs as new, and then, you know, the levels are all completely out of balance. Who knows? Who knows if they want to keep them balanced and then have 10 champions of each class available as 6 stars, and then keeping that even going forward. Who knows? We don't know, and we're not going to know until we see the list of what the next featured 6-star crystal looks like, and we probably aren't going to see that for another week and a bit or so, because we've got about 2 weeks left on this one, and you know, they don't release the list like too far in advance. Maybe, you know, like a few days or so before the next crystal is going to go live. So yeah, again, these are just my thoughts, guys. Feel free to you know, share your thoughts down below in the comments as well. I'd love to discuss these with you. I like thinking about, you know, like interesting things like this, and just, you know, messing around with theories and stuff in my head. So yeah, if you want to discuss it, by all means, I'm open. I think it would be great. But I think I'm going to leave the video here. Again, let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Let me know if you think that this is possible, or if I'm just like completely out of line here, and this just absolutely makes no sense. But I want to thank you guys for watching this video and considering these thoughts of mine. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like down below. That it really helps me out, and I really appreciate all the interaction on the videos. It's awesome. I love like interacting with you guys on these in the comment section, and I think it's just absolutely great. So yeah, guys, thank you again so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video.